Okay, this next exercise is a Cuban press, typically used as a warm-up, and you'll notice it in your warm-up protocols. What we're going to be doing is holding low weights, 3-5 pounds, works well. We're starting weight at the side, palms facing away from us or behind us, and we're going up, rotate, press, back down, reverse, and down. Now the alternate version as well is the bent over Cuban press, which we'll show in the next video. Hey, this exercise is a bent over Cuban press. Very similar to the standing Cuban press, the movements are the same. We're just looking for a bend at the hips. So I'm bending forward, hinging at the hip, bent at the knee, weights through the heels, and starting down, row up, and reverse the movements down. So back up 90 degrees at the elbows, drive up, press overhead, and back down. Making sure that we're not rounding our backs, keeping a good alignment with our backs, hips back, weight in the heels. Hey, this exercise is the TRX-Y. Depending on your level of strength, you can either quite low or sit up, a little more vertical. So all we're going to do is start here and up to the top position here in a Y with the arms and back down. Keeping your body nice and rigid, straight line from your shoulders right down to your heels. Squeeze your glutes, drive up and back down. Okay, this exercise is a box step up or bench step up to a knee drive with an overhead press of the medicine ball. Typically will be done in your warm-ups. So same with a foot on the bench or the box. We're stepping up, knee drive, weight goes overhead, we pause here for a quick moment and then back down. Drive up, pause, and back down. So repeat these repetitions on the one side and then switch legs, same thing to the other side. Making sure that you have that pause at the top and not going through up and down like this. Okay, this exercise is a medium box jump, just used for a warm-up. Not going to be used for the actual power movements, but this is more so for the warm-up base. So keeping the box at a medium or low height, all we're doing is jumping up, landing, step back down, up, land, and back down. Nice and simple. Landing with flat feet, good squat position. Trying not to keep our feet. Keep our feet right on the box there. Here. Not letting our feet go in like this. Keep them facing forward. Good landing. And back down. Okay, this next exercise is more like you can group it under the speed, agility, quickness kind of grouping of exercises. This is going to be called a square hurdle to box jump. So we start behind the hurdles, set up in a square formation. You can see here, with the ends of them touching each other, forming that square. Equal distance apart, of course, and then we've got the box at a height that we're able to get up onto with a double leg box hop. So starting back here, both feet are always going to be together, not always close together, but underneath the hips, working together at the same time. So for the first one, here we go. In, to the side, in and out, in, forward, and jump. So moving forward from that, that's about a moderate pace. We want to be able to, once we get the movement pattern down, we want to pick up the speed. So from here, try to get fast as we can, over and up, and back down, landing in a good squat position. So one final note, when we're up on the box, when we're landing, we want to make sure we're landing in a good squat position. So hopefully you can see me from that angle there. I'll show it at a few different angles. Down, good squat position. I'll move this back a little bit so you can see again. Back down, hips back, bent at the knees, bent to the hips, bent to the ankles. This exercise is a plank to push-up position. Starting in a plank position here. Good alignment with our shoulders right down to our heels. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Hands can be here or here, whatever you prefer. So plank to push-up, we're in our plank position, driving to a push-up, and straight back down to our plank position. Trying not to allow our hips to rotate or rock too much, like so. Okay, we are not looking for this. We're looking for stability through the hips, drive up, slow back down. Okay, this exercise is a single arm dumbbell clean, okay? And the next exercise will be a single arm dumbbell snatch, okay? With the dumbbell, sinking down position will be holding the dumbbell down between the knees, sink your butt back, weight in the heels, and as we drive up, the weight's gonna come up and we're gonna rack it over our shoulder. So from here, up, and stand. Weight controlled back down, and again, repeat, up, and back down. From the fronts, feet about shoulder width or a little wider. Toes can be out if that's more comfortable for your hips. Weight comes down, up, catch, and here. With a heavier weight, you're probably not gonna get off the ground too much, but you wanna try to get your body under the weight. So here, and up. Now the variation here will be a press. So here, clean, shoulder press. This next exercise is a Olympic bar deadlift. So Charlie here is going to get into our starting position, bending at the hips, hands outside the legs. She's got a pronated grip, which is both hands in towards her body. The alternate would be a alternated grip. So one supinated, one pronated. But for the purposes, she's going to do the both hands pronated grip. And she's stacking up well, weights into her heels or into her midfoot to heel, bending at the hips, back nice and flat. And go ahead whenever you're ready, Charlie. She's pulling up, straight up tall, squeezing the glutes at the top position, and then returning back in the same manner, keeping the weight nice and close to her shin. Shin's almost vertical. Go again, Charlie. Driving the weight straight up. So if we're looking from the side, we're looking for that bar to be moving straight up in a vertical position, straight up and down. And back down again, Charlie. As you can see, the weight is going straight up when she's ready. Straight up, driving with the glutes forward at the top position. Thanks. Excellent. Hey, this exercise is going to be similar to a landmine press, except we're going to be starting in a squat position and then pressing with our single arm overhead with the Olympic bar. For the purposes here, I've got a 25-pound plate in here, so not too heavy. I'm going to rack it here, nice and tight, nice and safe position for the shoulder. So if you can see here, nice and tight here. Feet a little wider than shoulder width, good base support. Back, nice in a neutral position, core is tight. What we don't want to see is this, hyperextension, butt out. So tuck in, core tight, sink down into our squat, drive forward, press overhead, onto my toes, leaning forward into the weight. Back down, weight comes back into the shoulder, we sink down into our heels, drive up, and press. With a variation here, you can have the hand on the back to really give you some feedback as to where your back position is. Nice and tight, and down. Variation here as well. We can just do a straight shoulder press from the squat position, or we can make it more of a powerful movement here. Drive, down, rack, drive. This exercise is a wide grip pull-up, and Charlie's here using the blue band for a little bit of assistance. What we're looking for is hands just outside of the bend of the bar, so for a nice wide grip, activating the lats, keeping the shoulders down as best we can. Body stays as flat as possible. We're trying to keep the core contracted, so you're going to have that a little bit of forward, or your heel's going to be kicking out a little bit further forward. And Charlie, go ahead for a rep here. She's going straight up and back down. Good. Trying to control her body as much as possible. And go ahead one more, Charlie. Everything nice and flat. Good. And back down, Charlie. Great. Hey, this exercise will be using the battle ropes, so there's lots of variations here. You can do small amplitude, large amplitude, maybe double arm slams, and double arm slams with the split squat. So those are kind of 5 different variations there for you. So the first one with a small amplitude, looking for good squat position. So we're down, weight in your heels, butts back, and we're looking for the small amplitude, having a nice kind of wavelength here with the ropes alternating back and forth. What we don't want to see is this kind of whole body movement. You see that a lot. What we're looking for is core stability, arms alternating back and forth. Large amplitude here, double arm slams here, and then double arm slams with a split squat position to finish off. Okay, this exercise is going to be a glute bridge, single arm chest press or bench press. With a weight here, starting in a glute bridge position, glute squeeze nice and tight. Opposite hand can be up here for a little bit less stability, a little bit more stability down the side. Okay. Keeping the glutes up, squeezing the entire time. We're gonna press up, back down, elbows down to the ground, and press back up. Important not to go down too fast. Elbow's gonna smash on the ground and it won't feel great in the wrist. So here, slow down to the ground, touch, and press. Right overhead, or right towards the ceiling. Glutes stayed, squeezed, and up the entire time. The variation here would be the hand, up, down, press. This exercise is going to be a side plank, single arm, cable, lat row. So taking some tension up into the cable machine. We're going to be in our side plank position on our elbow. Legs stacked. From here, elbow stays tight. Looking straight ahead at the cable and row. Controlled motion, keep the hips stable. Make it a little harder. We lift the leg and rotate, pull. And then another variation will be a single arm, hold, and row. All right, the following exercise is a Swiss ball or stability ball, whatever you want to call it, hamstring curl. We're going to do a double leg and the single leg. So to set up for this position, on our backs, best way, knees at 90 degrees, knees over top of the hips, heels try to get the apex of the ball right at the top of that Swiss ball. That's a good starting position. Okay, from here, we lift up our hips. We drive out, back in, and out. This is our double leg. Swiss ball or stability ball, hamstring curl. With the single leg, same position setup applies, except it's a single leg, of course. Other leg, up towards the sky, heels up, lift up, straight leg, pull in, out. Try to keep your hips at the same distance off the ground the entire time. Out and in. Okay, this next exercise is a front plank on the Swiss ball with an alternating knee drive. So 3 different ways you can do this. So all are gonna be from the plank position here. Elbows are once again under the shoulders, nice plank position. Legs are a little bit wider for some stability. So we have the knee driving in to the opposite side. So I'm driving my right knee up to my left elbow, left knee up to the right elbow. Okay, the other variation is right knee to right elbow, left knee to left elbow. The other variation would be out to the side, back in, out to the opposite side, and back in. Okay, 3 separate variations, all in a plank position on the Swiss ball.